wanted to shoot differently this time, just to come out and in a different setting. It is a gift from the divine to have this, to have the sun, to have the wind, to feel the wind today, to feel just lifted by the earth, by nature, by the trees. I'm in a state of mourning the trees as it's going through another death cycle. I know it'll come back around and it'll return, and it's just a phase that it goes through, like all of us. And I'm just gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss feeling my friends' presence, feeling spoken to and guided by them. But I know they'll return. I'm gonna miss them. There's so much I could say, so much to say, and I was hesitant to come out here because there may be more distraction than if I'm inside, but I needed the change. I think I needed the change. And I wanted a change for you guys. And I'm feeling a lot of uncomfortable feelings right now because there's so much change. And I start to have these messages start to download to me. And as I reflect, I just want to share everything I reflected upon. But how sometimes I don't know how I can step into the role of sharing and any way I can be a guide or something. I don't. I want to share, what it looks like when we can be turned back to ourselves. Maybe I'll scoot a little closer to the shade or something. Sorry if it's so shaky. I'm holding my phone, honestly, and I think I need a little shade more than I thought. These uncomfortable feelings comes from recognizing, stepping into discomfort. I'm stepping into a lot of discomfort, and I'm not avoiding it. I felt a lot of discomfort, and instead of sitting with it, recognizing it, feeling it, I slip back into avoidance. It's the avoidance. It comes up unconsciously. I think it becomes too much discomfort, and I want to back away from it. So I am subconsciously backing away from this discomfort. I think I consciously tell myself I need some breathing room, but then it becomes a day of avoidance the whole day, the entire day. I recognize the avoidance after feeling discomfort, and we just don't. It's like we know the action that we're taking, but you don't clearly see the root cause of it. And I forgot again. Sometimes this journey, there's a lot of forgetting, and we just have to return back to what we know over again. We forget and then we remember. We forget, remember. It's a dance, as Ram Dass says. It's a dance. And I sometimes, when I forget and I remember again, it's like, wait, how did I even forget in the first place? How did I even forget? And I think what helps us to remember, to return back to ourselves, is in the moments of feeling the discomfort. Maybe it can help to allow ourselves to go through the process of the discomfort without needing to back away from it. Or sometimes we may feel it and then we're not truly like letting ourselves feel it entirely. In my experience, it feels as if I can feel the discomfort and then it becomes too much to bear and I slip back into to forget and to avoid. Maybe I sometimes think that it'll just go away if I forget and if I avoid, which in that moment it can seem like it goes away, but it's always going to be there until we face the music, until we face the dance. And so in a way I've been returning back to myself, and I wanted to shed light and help one another recognize when we slip back into the forgetfulness. What it can look like when we can remember again. Remember our power. I wake up sometimes in a state of my mind being completely blank, not knowing what words, how I feel, what words I can use to describe the feeling in my body and my emotions. I wake up blank, and what I recognized is I need a slow and long duration of time to notice where my head is currently placed and where my thoughts are. And as I woke up this morning, and as I woke to this beautiful, gorgeous day we've been gifted, I had a blank mind. And if you also sometimes go through this, then I suggest having a practice and technique that can allow you to pick up all the pieces of thoughts and to be able to conjure up those in a sentence. And it's a struggle to pick up all these little thoughts and form a sentence with it. And my current practice that helps is walking and talking to myself, and I just keep talking. I usually start with, what's kind of something I've been thinking about over and over again that I still need to process. And cutting away distractions allows me to actually sit with the discomfort. And once I actually feel the discomfort without any distractions, then those same thoughts that's been coming to my mind over and over and over again can really have time to rise up to the surface to be witnessed and to be felt. Those emotions that come from the discomfort can actually truly be honored and felt. And we can't do that if we have these distractions around us that takes us away from ourselves. And these distractions, it will, in my experience, leave me feeling disconnected from myself. And if I feel disconnected, there's a separation from what I truly desire and what my heart is truly saying. I can't really hear what my heart is trying to say to me, and there's a missing piece, and I'm not actually present with my spirit self, and I'm not. She's just not there, and it's like I'm unfamiliar with myself. I'm just not there anymore. There's a feeling of not knowing what kind of person I am. There's a lot of uncertainty, just not knowing the self, my personality, and my spirit self. It feels like I'm just a body. When there's a lot of avoidance, comes a lot of numbing, and numbing the emotions, numbing the experience of life itself, of your reality. And without any felt sensory experiences, then I'm actually feeling like I'm not in this world, in this body. Distractions comes in the form of, for many, either technology, the social media, or substances, and there's always it's all ties in with numbing our sensory experience in this life, and we can't truly connect to our higher self, our spirit self, or just our human experience if we can't feel our senses, if we can't feel into our experience. And so I highly recommend cutting away the distractions so we can hear into our thoughts more, so we can feel into our experience. And with that will come the discomfort. But that is where we meet ourselves, guys. That is where we can actually feel what is going on truly within our experience. And we don't have to shy away from it. I've experienced that avoidance, the avoiding of discomfort for years up to this age of 24. And I'm recognizing how these core beliefs of not feeling capable of handling discomfort leads to more discomfort if we choose to believe in our core beliefs, negative core beliefs. So cutting away the distractions to feel into the experience. Once we feel into the experience, it hints at us the underlying beliefs that may be causing us to avoid the discomfort in the first place. And the more awareness that we place upon our patterns, or our unhealthy habitual patterns, the more we can feel empowered to shift our way of being, of operating on a day-to-day basis. And another where we can also take this is if we feel the more distractions that we place, or the more avoidance rather, of feeling the discomfort, the less empowered we would feel, and the more disempowered we would feel. So I think it's also important to take small things throughout our day to do what helps us feel empowered. When I awakened, I started my day doing little things that helps me feel like I'm actually of this world again. Grounding techniques that helps me feel into this experience. It also includes walking, yoga, pranayama, meditation, sinking into my body, my breath, using my tuning fork, talking to myself, allows me to place all my attention into my body and my mind and my spirit. And also eating the right foods that helps us enhance what we already want to embody. So food is important in cultivating how we want to truly feel. I felt a difference with eating in-season foods. Even on my mat, I felt a difference with my movement. And I want to place so much emphasis on how crucial it is to rewire our circuits or something like that, I guess. What I'm trying to say is, if we don't rewire and change our core negative beliefs, then we will have a difficult time coming out of the avoidance. It's so crucial to feel capable of feeling the discomfort. And I felt so much uncomfortable feelings when I recently, when I stayed true to what I wanted. And it felt so uncomfortable to really just say like, this is what I want, and I'm not changing my mind. And it felt uncomfortable, but that same night I was able to go out and still have a good time, a fun time, which also led to more uncomfortable feelings, because that's a part of me that I haven't stepped fully into, because I grew up very sheltered and reserved, and there's a lot of guilt with sharing my true expression, my playful extroverted side. That's also unfamiliar, but I knew it's always been there. So feeling so much love for somebody, and like a possibility of just wanting to love someone deeply. So these areas of my life have come up, and they're new and uncomfortable to feel. Just because something's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not right, and doesn't mean it's wrong. It's actually probably the opposite, because if it's uncomfortable, we're actually stepping into something new and unfamiliar. And so something I've been reminding myself is how I'm meant to feel uncomfortable right now, because it's just showing me that my reality is shifting into something new. And yes, of course, I wanted certain aspects of my life to look a certain way when I was younger that is actually happening now, I guess. Like, of course, some of these things I wanted to be able to be socialize, and I don't know, to have somebody eventually. I don't it just feels so like weird to admit that I wanted these certain things, but it's probably feeling weird because it's just uncomfortable too to even admit. It's just so uncomfortable with like something new in your life. It really is. That's why people sometimes get that imposter syndrome, or uncomfortable with success, however that looks like. It may just, yeah, of course, it may be something, a desire that maybe have manifested, but still it's uncomfortable because it's new. But it's so important when we do feel that discomfort, guys, hold each other. Like, make time to hold yourself and to have that relationship with yourself. Because, you know, we're still that young child that we've always known. When you see a young child crying or getting, you know, having these hard emotions, difficult emotions to manage, you want to like be there and comfort them and really talk to them and hold them. And that's the same for us, guys. Like, we still are that inner child. We still need to be held and to be like, it's gonna be okay. And we sometimes forget that. We do that for our friends, even maybe, you know, animals, or like, you know, but we sometimes forget, guys, we still need a relationship with ourselves. We still have some part of individuality, and with that comes the opportunity to foster your own nurturing side for yourself, fostering safety for yourself. And if we're only avoiding and causing a wider gap of disconnection, then we can't really foster that relationship. If we can't see ourselves clearly, we need to create safety within ourselves so that we are capable of handling difficult emotions and discomfort. So I hope these, I guess, little ways that can help us manage, and maybe I'll like summarize it. So, cutting away distractions in any way that may look like. It could be even sort of healthy distractions. Sometimes our distractions can look like very frequent socializing, because, you know, always needing somebody instead of spending time alone. Or reading a book can be a way of avoidance if you're constantly reading without. So it looks like a lot of different things. So cutting away distractions, maybe less. And then another thing that could help, I guess, is when we do that, we can clear away and make space for what's coming up in our thoughts, and it could feel more accessible to notice what thoughts we do have. And then techniques that allow us to ground ourselves into our body, into our experience, speaking to even other people about what you're going through, change that's occurring from the discomfort, you know. So maybe if you're feeling discomfort from something that you see someone else somehow can overcome, like if you see someone who you can get advice from, and then holding yourself, really being a nurturer to yourself. see yourself as that inner young child. You know what? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. We can feel this. We are capable of feeling this discomfort. And I think also surrounding yourself or be in connect with the spirit, God, in however way, some higher power that can help too. Even right now, being around trees, they inspire me in so many ways. Nature and the sun inspire me. So allow yourself to be surrounded by something that inspires you, that you feel protected and kind of held by. Because we can hold ourselves, but it's nice, it could feel a little easier to be held by something you feel as you look up to, or you're you know, some higher power that you could feel held by in a way. So yeah, yeah. So I encourage us to reclaim our power. We are capable of overcoming the fear of the discomfort. We are. And yeah, just remembering that you are. Okay.